Hello, welcome to Orlando Accomplice. I'm Becca.
And I'm Jake. And this is episode 9 of the Orlando Accomplice podcast.
Password.
Orlando Accomplice password. That's not my password, so don't go hacking me. Today we're going to be talking about all things Epic Universe. So we prepare to head out to opening day, which is, as time was recording, 5 days' time. But we fly out to Orlando on Monday, and
today's Saturday.
Yeah, today's Saturday. So yeah, 2 days' time for us.
One more day officially.
One more day.
Yeah.
And probably if we get this out tomorrow, which is Sunday.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. All going well.
The day after we'll be flying out there. So just a heads up, this is a adult only, mature audience.
You need to stop this.
We need to think of another word for this whole.
Basically, there might be some swearing involved, there might not be. So if you've got little ones about, probably best not to listen to around them.
And especially in this episode, these are all our own opinions, so feel free to agree, disagree, and we actually encourage that. So if you see one of his clips go up on Instagram and you don't agree with something, or you do agree with it,
let us know your opinions.
Yeah. Just to do a little plug, so we are recording this on YouTube and we are putting this out as audio only. So if you want to come see us happy faces, come over to YouTube.
We are putting this out as audio only. We're not.
We're not, no.
But you said
and
we
audio.
Are. Right.
So do YouTube and audio.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but people might not.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. So we do YouTube for visual and audio, and we do audio only on all good podcasting sites.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Got it out. If you're on YouTube, I apologise if you see me flashing. My pants are pretty loose.
If you're not, he's got shorts on and he keeps man-spreading. So
man-spreading, is that the correct
term? Yeah, I've never heard that before. No. Yeah.
I'm trying to tuck my shorts in, so yeah. Also, we are pretty bad at telling people asking people to subscribe, like, and all, comment, and all that stuff. So if you wouldn't mind dropping us a like, subscribing on podcasts, give us a review.
On YouTube, we're Orlando Accomplice, Instagram, Orlando Accomplice, and TikTok, Orlando Accomplice. Straightforward across all platforms.
And if you are following us on Instagram and other platforms, you'll have noticed that we have released a new website. So if you want to go check that out, that is www.orlandoaccomplice.com.
And what is the website for, Jake?
It is for our custom itineraries.
Customised itineraries. Customised itineraries to help you navigate Orlando and your vacation.
Yeah.
So if you'd like us to help you with that, head over to that website. We'll be taking bookings when we get back from our own vacation.
Yep. And we're going to keep building on top of it, so there's loads of cool stuff coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into the episode. But first, in true Orlando Accomplice fashion.
Yes, we have beverages. As it is a Saturday night.
Yep.
I have a very, very sad desperado today. I love a desperado, but it must have a lime. But someone decided to throw the limes away, and we were in a bit of a rush coming here, so we couldn't stop off and get a lime.
I feel so bad, sorry.
Yeah, I know you've ruined my drink, and it is room temperature now, so...
I still think that's cold. That's still cold.
No, as soon as I open that, I'm going to be sad. But I do love a desperado, but it has to have a lime, so yep, that's me.
And I've gone with a Brooklyn Brewery Pilsner, which is pretty mainstream brewery now, or lager now. I wonder if it's even brewed in America still. Brewed and canned in the UK.
Oh,
so yeah, by Carlsberg. So basically,
it's just Carlsberg. A can of Carlsberg again.
But I have had a Brooklyn Brewery lager out in New York, and it banged. So this was like my take to America as we're going very soon.
I'll let you do your
my crack.
Hope that was satisfying. Right, I have a special surprise for you all. So this is Jake's bottle opener. Please work.
I thought it went on for longer than that.
No, thank God it doesn't.
But shout out to Yorkshire Spurs. That was my Christmas present.
Yep.
And it gives me loads of joy every time Becky opens a beer.
So yeah, cheers. Cheers to going to Orlando in a couple of days' time.
Cheers.
Taste test. Very, very familiar.
It doesn't actually taste like Carlsberg.
Doesn't taste that bad without a lime, but would prefer.
Yep. Right, so
Crack
let's get
on.
into this.
So what are we doing? What is this podcast? Tell the people.
So we are going to Epic Universe on opening day. So this podcast is kind of our takes and how we're feeling about this whole situation. So I've broken it down into several points. So we have a brief introduction to Epic Universe. So for people who do listen to this podcast who have no idea what's going on, we're going to break that down for you. Like I have people at work coming up to me being like, "Oh, have you seen that new park in Orlando?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've known about it for 6 years, or however long." But yeah,
Not everybody
so
is
not
a
everyone knows,
diehard,
and not everyone's
Jake.
as
God.
nerdy as us. So like for you guys, we're gonna explain to you what that is. We're gonna chat about our experiences so far and how we've kind of managed to avoid spoilers and all that kind of stuff, and we'll break down why we're trying to avoid spoilers and how there's even spoilers out there. We're gonna rank our most anticipated lands. And then we are going to discuss our game plan. Also, I've not written it down on my notes, but we are going to rank the rides as well in each one of them.
And then we're going to guess. Well, I'm going to guess what order Jake would rank the lands and his rides, and he's going to do the same
Yeah.
for me.
We're ranking rides as well. Have you done my rides?
No, I've done my own rides. Sorry.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was not that prepared, and I think it'd probably take too long if we did that. So, yeah, and then we're going to discuss this game plan. Obviously, we said we're going on
Or lack
opening day.
thereof.
Yeah, and like how we're going to attempt to do this. And then anything else that we can think of. We've got some questions off Instagram that we're going to answer them.
Yeah.
And then when we're out there, so the day after opening day, we're going to record a podcast out there just from his hotel room.
Fingers crossed if we can crawl out of bed.
Yeah. If we're not too heartbroken. And then we're just going to tell you about this whole experience.
As spoiler-free as possible, because we know a lot of people are prolonging their visit to Epic Universe for many reasons, or they are it's just not feasible for them to go this year, so they're holding out.
Yeah, so we're going to try and do it as spoiler-free as possible. Kind of similar to like this isn't going to be spoilers because we've managed to avoid that.
Yeah.
So number one.
Yeah.
What is Epic Universe?
Mm-hmm.
So Epic Universe is the third park owned by Universal.
Fourth, if you want to include their water park.
Yeah.
In the Orlando area. They obviously have theme parks elsewhere.
So I've written down on my notes that it's 4 lands, or technically 5 with their own IP, but 4 lands, and we've actually known about Super Nintendo World for ages, and I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, because there's Japan and Hollywood.
Yeah. But, I mean, I just thought it was going to come to Orlando, because I remember my dad showing me an article when they opened the one in Japan, and they said it's going to be coming to Orlando in the article.
Right.
And I didn't twig that it would be a new park. I thought it might have been somewhere else. Could have been like an offshoot of Islands or something.
Many years ago, when you saw that article, it might have been in Islands of Adventure or whatever.
Well, yeah, there were I don't think there might not have even been any plans, or this could have been something that they were thinking about for years, which they probably would have done.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's their new theme park located still within Universal property, but further away from both studios and Islands of Adventure. Further down.
It's about a mile down International Drive.
Yeah.
Which has kind of made it a bit not difficult to get to, because there's 3 on-site hotels.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of his questions later on is about kind of comparing is about Islands of Adventure and studios. So I won't actually go into detail about the question. We'll answer that later. But they were basically comparing it with them 2 lands, and I think the fact that there's no like central hub like there's City Walk, I think that's a bit of a downer, I would say.
Yeah, but what would the central hub be centralising? Because there's one thing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, the beauty of City Walk is that you can just stroll from your hotel to City Walk.
That's what's going to maybe be a draw for people to keep them at those parks.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or one of reasons.
Yeah, so it features 4 lands, technically 5, with their own IP. So their own IP is called Celestial Park. I can never say that word properly.
Celestial Park.
Celestial Park.
Yeah. Celestial.
Which is all like kind of the stars and the moon and gods
Celestial
and stuff.
things.
Yeah, I just think of Celestials, the Marvel stuff. but-
like mythology,
yeah.
kind of.
And then the 4 is Dark Universe, which is classic monsters. So like Creature of the Black Lagoon,
Frankenstein, the Mummy,
what else is
werewolf.
there? Werewolves. What's the other big one?
What have we said?
Werewolf, Frankenstein, Creature of the Black Lagoon,
Mummy,
Mummy,
Dracula.
Dracula. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So yeah, classic monsters like that. And then we have Super Nintendo World.
Or Super Ninny World, as I like to call it.
Ninny of the Nonny World.
Yeah, Super Nonny World.
And that is all the classics. It's mainly Mario focused. So there's Mario, Toad, Luigi, Peach. And then there's like a Donkey Kong expansion off the side. And this is like something that's been in Japan and in California. So, but then this one is the Donkey Kong section built onto it, whereas that's only just opened in
Yeah, not
Japan.
long since. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, and then California doesn't have that at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Wizarding World.
Ministry of Magic.
Yeah, which my kind of little rant about it is it's called Ministry of Magic, but it's in France.
Yeah, but you enter the British ministry.
But you're in France first, and then you go to Britain. It is a bit mad. I think like that's kind of like part of my rant is that
You're going too deep. Moving on.
Yeah. And we've got Isle of Berk, which is based around
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. And then yeah, that's it for the 4 EPs.
Mm-hmm.
So setting the scene, we have not seen any spoilers, and by spoilers we mean that
very, very minimal. If we see something, we swipe past it. Within reason, if there's something like an update on, for example, Ministry of Magic, the Dark Ride got put on a virtual queue, and now it's been taken off a virtual queue. Stuff like that we're going to need to know. We try and give it a brief second to see what it is without too much.
Yeah. We've watched quite a lot of food. So
yeah, the food stuff.
Actually, going into it, like, why is the spoilers? How is the spoilers? So the park has technically been open for like press and influencer kind of people
and annual pass holders, and now it's open to general public on limited release.
Yeah, so like I've put in my notes here rant about this basically because it's been the thing that's been quite strange to me personally. Like you guys might not might not feel the same. But as we're going to opening day, I kind of feel that it's taking the shine off it a little bit as it's been open. Like I say, it was open for press maybe middle of April time or early April.
I can't remember now. It seems to have been open for a long time now in
technical rehearsal
training wheel time.
Yeah. So like and obviously because of they've allowed press in and basically everyone in, because like I say, it was press first and then it was annual pass holders, and then it was general public. So it kind of made it a bit, like I say,
the grand opening's not so much a grand opening
because it's like most people have kind of been who really wanted to go, and like I say, not trying to sound too salty because obviously we're going out there, because for a lot of people who booked their trips before the announcement, or like they've had the trip books for years, because was it like last October or something it was announced? Can't remember when it was actually announced.
Can't remember the date, but it's been over a year.
Yeah. The date was announced, so people might have booked the trips before that and then just missed out. So for you guys who were able to experience it straight away, or like earlier than what you probably would have done, it's great for you.
But on the flip side,
like I say, it's kind of taking it away from the.
Oh, I meant on the other flip side.
Oh, another flip side.
It could potentially mean that opening day isn't. Well, I know they've capped tickets to apparently 15k, and I think at the minute they're on 10k, so they've upped it. But that could mean, people that would have tried to get opening day tickets, and it might. What's the analogy I'm thinking of? I don't know. Like, the fire might not be so blazing.
Yeah.
But I'm still anticipating it being hectic.
Rammed,
yeah.
I think I saw a rumor that it were capped at 15k, which the
Apparently, yeah.
previews. Yeah, this is all speculation.
Yeah.
I don't know where this person got these facts from, but apparently the
I'd
previews.
like these facts to be true.
Yeah, so would I.
Figures, not facts.
Yeah, figures. So apparently the previews have been capped at about 10k ish.
You're just repeating what I've just said.
Yeah.
Did you just zone out when I
No,
was
no,
talking?
I was listening to that.
He does this all the time, by the way.
But yeah, so hopefully that they're all right. And that it won't be as busy.
We will see.
Yeah.
It will still be hectic. It will still be absolutely rammo because it's opening day of a brand new shiny theme park.
Yeah.
And a theme park that a lot of people love the existing ones, so it's going to have part of history, essentially.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, that's still giving the shine.
Yeah, that's what we're going for,
Yeah.
basically.
So we want to see the opening of a
Yeah.
park. But then, like, going back to it, when we were looking at booking this trip, we were looking at like the starting point of May because we'd been the 1st of May before, and it was like perfect weather, not too busy, cheap or cheaper.
Because it's British school time.
Yeah, and then so we had a really good time at like the 1st of May.
However, now looking at the weather report, scorching.
Yeah, and I guess so. We were thinking, we'll hold off a little bit to see when they announce Epic, because we originally thought that it were going to be like later in the year, didn't we? We didn't think it was going to be May.
Yeah.
And then obviously they said May, and we was like, right, let's.
I thought June, July.
Yeah.
Before the next bout of HHN. But yeah, that is roughly in a nutshell kind of what Epic Universe is. I'm sure that you can just hop over to Instagram or YouTube and find endless details on that if you are interested and want to learn a little bit more. But that's not what we're here for today. Otherwise, this podcast will be 3 hours long. That's not fun for anyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So also just discussing with how, like, if we did watch spoilers, then like.
Yeah, we got sidetracked from that.
Yeah. If we did watch spoilers, we'd kind of, like, I kind of always think of like that first time that we went on his honeymoon.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'd obviously been before, 10 years before we'd gone.
Yeah.
And then you'd never been before.
Nope.
And I can't remember how much, like.
We watched quite a bit of YouTube.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
But then it was still, it still didn't give us the feeling of obviously being there. It still felt like it was a new thing when we went there.
Yeah, but this, with it being new and having the theme park experience and knowledge that we do, we wanted to kind of shelter ourselves from it a little bit and enjoy it without over analysing it on the day. Yes, we're going to try as best to have a game plan. It's not going to pan out that way. I really think there is no point in planning opening day. Like, you can have a strategy, but it's going to go out the window. It really is. There's going to be ride closures. There's going to be things that go wrong, and you can't plan for that. So I just think having a strategic plan and getting your heart broken when it doesn't go right is not the best outlook for opening day.
Like, I think I wrote this on Monday, and it's already changed.
Yeah.
The game plan.
It chops and changes all the time, but yeah.
Because of new information coming out.
So we want to go in there with a fresh mind and experience things for the first time without the oversaturation that has been produced from the press releases and everything like that. Because there has
actually been so much stuff.
There's been so much content. And fantastic to watch. Like, we'll probably watch it and catch up when we get back because it's just nice to watch and be like, oh, we miss it, or we did that, or we didn't get to do that, or whatever. But for us personally, we've tried to avoid.
And we do have a trip booked in September where we'll kind of do all the stuff that we've missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, to be like I say, even if we did watch the spoilers, it's kind of not a complete accurate representation of how it's going to be like on the day, with it being like technical rehearsal. A lot of stuff's been going down. And this is kind of another thing as well. It's like I've got friends who have been out there, who have been in technical rehearsals, and different people have had different experiences. People have had amazing experiences being able to go on everything. Some people have had like really, really bad experiences to the point where they've asked for refunds, or like they've asked for another ticket to go, which Universal have been really good at responding to that.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. We just need to go and experience it for ourselves.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Pros of the previews though. in like a business sense. I guess it
Oh,
shows
it's created
more
so much
people.
hype and discussion around it.
Like I say,
I
like
don't think it needed it.
No, I don't think it did either. And it's like even looking at the dates, there's some dates like available in like June. There's like you can probably book most days in
Yeah.
June. So yeah. So that's kind of like I say in a nutshell of all the stuff that's kind of been going on. We kind of want to. We don't really like to put timestamps on stuff in terms of like it being dated next week. So it's kind of hopefully you're in the same boat as us when you're listening to this. Obviously we'll have been on opening day, but you guys at home might be trying to avoid spoilers, or you might be booking to go further down the line, so you'll kind of get you might be feeling the same as us basically.
Yeah.
So that this is kind of for you guys. So now we're gonna rank our most anticipated lands.
Do you want to do each other's first? Because there's no point me telling you what they are and then you having your.
Well, I've got mine written down of what I think yours are.
Yeah, I've got yours written down. But what I'm saying is, there's no point me telling you my lands and then you telling me what you thought mine would have been. So if you say what you think mine are, and then I tell you what mine are, does that not make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
In your
I
head?
don't know if we do it the other way. But yeah, we can do it that way. Yeah, whichever way is easier.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to influence your decision. I mean,
you
you've
can't
already
influence
written it
my decision. It's written down.
Yeah, very true. Right.
It's set in stone in iMessage, not iMessage notes.
Right.
Okay.
Let's get this up. So, go on then. What do you think my is?
Order of lands. So I've not included Celestial Park. I've just included the portals.
Okay. I've done everything. But go on.
Do you want me to include it? Because I know where I'd probably put it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it quick. Right, okay.
Right.
So I think number 1, Jake's.
I'll go backwards, go 5 to 1. Yeah.
5, right. So from the bottom, Jake's least anticipated land is Dark Universe.
Okay.
Then Celestial Park.
Okay.
Ministry of Magic.
Yeah.
Second, Isle of Berk.
Okay.
And first, I think he's the most excited for Super Nintendo World.
Okay, so I think yours is number 5, Celestial Park. Number 4, Super Ninny Worlds. I put Super Ninny in my thing as well. Third, Harry Potter. Second, How to Train Your Dragon. And then first, Dark Universe. So now we'll go 5, 5, 5 4, 4.
Okay, go. Okay.
Right, so your number 5.
My number 5 is Ministry of Magic.
Wow.
I am least excited for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what's your reason?
Because I think we're not going to get to ride the ride. I am really excited for the show. However, I'm not holding a whole land on
just one show.
On the show, and I think I'm going to get so much hate. I'm a bit sick of Harry Potter.
You're not the first person I've heard say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think, it's great, and it's going to be a beautiful land, and I'm excited for them bevies in that bar that look like they've got absinthe in. But if we have to drop a land, I'm not bothered about that one.
Good shout. See, this is kind of like, hearing yours is kind of influencing me, so I'm not changing everything, but...
You know, you can't change it. It's cemented.
It's cemented in the notes.
Notes.
My number 5 is Celestial Park.
Because you can't say it properly.
One, because I can't say it properly, and I'm sick of saying it. So the least I go to it.
Park. Why?
Because although when we get to the I think the ride is good. I think Starfall Races is going to be insane.
Don't talk about rides now.
Yeah,
but in detail.
Well, yeah. So I think that's going to be insane, and I think I'm really going to enjoy it. But I guess this is kind of like the City Walk, innit? Like, it's just a load of restaurants.
This is your opinion. You justify to me why you've put it in last place.
So I think, and the carousel, you can't be arsed with it. I would say I can't be arsed with it, but I'm not bothered about it. Like,
you're not the target audience. Let it go.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not the target audience for Carousel, but I'd rather go on that because it's got a cool name. So yeah.
Okay.
And then I think that's there 1 points for that. And I just think, like I say, it'll probably look pretty. It'll look very pretty. but it doesn't look like it's that much shade.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're my reasons. Number 4. Do you want me to do my number 4 first?
Yeah, you go, and then we'll come
So
back.
my number 4 is Harry Potter.
Yeah. Okay.
Similar to you, bit not sick of Harry Potter, but it's like
I still love the franchise,
Yeah.
and I'll watch all the films at Christmas.
And I just think that they kind of put it in it because they know it's a seller. And I think they know that, like, going back to what we were saying about how stuff's changed.
Mm-hmm.
So the main ride in Harry Potter World, that's what I'm calling it now, because that's another thing. It don't make sense because it's like it's Paris and then it's London. Like
They travel via Flu Network. That's
But-
why.
you go in the flu.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know this, but I'm presuming you go in the flu in London and then you're in.
No, you go in the Flu in France.
All right. Okay.
and
That makes
then
a bit more sense.
Fire, and you're in the Green Ministry.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
Well, I think.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is what we
so
think.
so we don't know. So you might be
Logic
shouting
would-
like, "You're wrong. It is
Well,
Paris."
if we're
and
wrong, let us go
yeah.
and experience it, and then we'll admit we're wrong.
Yeah, and I think they kind of mashed that a bit too much together. And then I think
No, because this is based on the Fantastic Beast franchise, not Harry Potter.
I don't even think they go to the
They do.
ministry.
They go. To,
And then they've got Delirious Umbridge. She's like
yeah.
bloody 100
yeah, but
years
it's
older
about when she's on a trial. So, but
than which is in Harry
the
Potter.
land itself is based in,
Paddy.
Paris, because
Fantastic Beasts.
yeah. But it's set at a time point where Umbridge is on trial by the British Ministry.
Yeah. But then, like I say, it's 2 different timelines, I guess.
This Harry
But
Potter
yeah.
canon. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so I think that's a bit, like I say, I think it's just a bit of a seller. And like you were saying about, I don't think we're probably going to get on the ride, which is a bit of a bummer. Like even
Yeah.
people in technical rehearsal who've managed to go through this stupid process of getting the virtual queue,
Yeah.
they've broken down and they've not managed to ride it. They've wasted hours of the day waiting and queuing.
And we don't want to do that.
Yeah. So I think in terms of not being able to
I'll
ride
wait
a
an
ride.
hour. I will wait an hour. If it gets past that point, I'm dipping because we've got more things we'd want to do.
Yeah. So yeah, your number 4?
My number 4 is Super Nintendo World.
No, that's about right. I put that as yours, number 4, didn't
I think I love, Nintendo. I didn't grow up on it so much as Jake did.
Mm.
I was Sega Mega Drive.
Sega.
Yeah. The sound of Sonic getting those rings is so nostalgic to me. So I don't have the same attachment to it as Jake would, and it's a land that we've seen a lot on vlogs and things like that. So like, it's just more or less a carbon copy of what you've got in Japan and Hollywood, minus Hollywood not having certain aspects. So yeah, I just don't have the nostalgic attachment to it, but I am looking forward to seeing it and going on Minecart Madness. But again, it's just other things take priority for me.
And we don't really watch that many things on like Japan or California, do we? It's normally like just Orlando content we watch on YouTube. So it's like we've not really seen it that much.
I like watching Ordinary Adventures.
Yeah.
Them two are that's a good YouTube channel, and that's their home park. So I watch a bit, but
we don't watch.
They always get the better food over there in California.
Yeah.
Same at Disney as well.
I think this time they've probably learned from, because people say that the food in the Super Nintendo world isn't amazing.
No,
I feel
it's just gimmicky, isn't it? You get a little Mario hat on top of your burger and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, your number 3.
My number 3 is Dark Universe. Well, it's top 3, so it's like it was always going to be heartbreaking, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I just think the other 2 that I've got above it are more taking my priority. I do think the rides are probably going to be the fact that there's 2 rides in general, because some other than that's another rant about Harry Potter. There's only 1 ride, which is only 1 ride in what's the other one? Diagon Alley. Yeah, there isn't there? Only 1 ride. So it's same as that over there, where it's like you were saying, if you're not going on the ride, you're kind of going to stroll about, have a look about, probably going in the shops, which the shops are probably going to have everything else that's in the ones in City Walk, probably.
Yeah, but if
Um,
you are like a diehard of the franchise, like
Yeah, it'd still be brilliant to look at.
yeah, there's Easter eggs everywhere. But okay, what number was that?
That was number 3.
So my number 3 is Celestial Park.
Wow, number 3.
Yeah, I am so excited for Stardust Races. I want to call it Starfall Races all the time because if
It is Starfall Races.
Oh,
it
see,
was Stardust.
yeah, I want to do it that way around because it just sounds better. But Universal got trademarked by another company that already had that name, so they had to change the name. So excited for that roller coaster. People are, there's different opinions whether people are putting it above Velocicoaster, and you might be aware Velocicoaster is one of my favourite roller coasters of all time. It is amazing. So I just want to experience it to be able to say, does it compare to Velocicoaster? Is it better than Velocicoaster? People have said it's more intense, and I like intensity.
Like we've not had a new ride that in the past 3 trips. No, past 2 trips, I think.
So yeah, and I just think it is stunning. And it's putting, like people have said, it's putting the park back in theme park. There's a lot of greenery.
I guess that, yeah.
And I'm excited for the food in that part of the park mostly. The restaurant that I want to visit, not on this trip, unfortunately. The next one, hopefully, we get to visit the what's it called now? Blue Dragon restaurant, hopefully.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that, and I can't wait to see it at night lit up. I think it's going to be stunning.
Yeah, it's going to be great at night.
Yeah.
And I think eventually, if it gets to the point where, say, Celestial Park becomes like the City Walk.
It's the hub.
And it's like, instead of people going into City Walk, they'd go into into the park.
The idea about Celestial Park is it's this big hub where the story behind it, the people that live there are these Celestians, and they can travel to different portals, to different worlds, and we are traveling through those portals to enter Super Nintendo World. And
there's a bit of lore there.
Yeah. Universal love selling a story with it.
Yep.
So yeah, Celestial Park is number 3 for me.
Go on then, give me your number 2.
Oh, we're doing that? Okay.
Yeah.
My number 2, Isle of Berk, How to Train Your Dragon.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, I just love that film franchise.
I put that as your number 2 as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the funny thing is about How to Train Your Dragon is that we were like,
I'm not watching
not bothered about that.
I'm not watching that. I don't like dragons.
And then we watched it and was like, oh my God.
I remember Barker telling us like, oh, you should watch it. Like, it's so good. And we were like, oh, it's just cartoon dragons.
Yeah.
And we're all for watching cartoon. Like, one of my favourite films is a cartoon. So, I love the franchise. Toothless reminds us so much of our sweet boy Milo. I don't know how a dog reminds us of a dragon on vice versa. I'm excited for that mac and cheese cone thing. I'll try and insert a picture of it here if we remember in post. I'm excited for Hiccup's wing gliders. I'm excited to meet Rough Nut and Tough Nut just walking about, and fingers crossed if we have time to meet Toothless and Hiccup.
Like, we've never really been bothered about character meets, really.
No, but that one, oh my God, why was he not cast in the live action?
Yeah,
you all know the guy I'm on about if you're on TikTok. You all know. His acting's on point, the voice, everything. Yeah. And then, and also Little Dart as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. So cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my number 2, this is going to shock you. My number 2 is Super Nintendo World.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that, yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can't really, like, people have probably figured out now what
anyway,
my number 1 is.
Focus on what you, number 2.
Go number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So,
explain your number 2.
Kind of similar to what you were saying, even though I'm a massive Nintendo fan, like I've got Link on my arm. and like grew up with Nintendo. Like my first game console was not like a PlayStation like everyone else. It was a Nintendo console. I've got like fond memories of going to my uncle's house and he was playing Nintendo 64.
That's so cute.
So like like Nintendo's a big part of like my childhood and just my life probably. But then to put it at number 2 is because one, we've kind of seen most of it already with the like say California and Japan.
Yeah.
And just kind of how strong number 1 is for me.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Super Nintendo World, I'm like super excited for it, and it just kind of shows the importance of the lands as well. Like the lands are so well done. It's like it was hard to do this list. Like it's 1 to 5, but like even moving stuff about, it was pretty difficult.
Like something's got to come on top.
Something's got
to be second.
And I think just mainly because we've seen it before. I think if we'd not seen it before, I think it might have been number 1.
Okay.
And then I think if Zelda and stuff like that ends up coming, I think then
to the UK,
or even just to the one in Florida, I think it'll be a like I'll probably put it to number 1 spot. And that's the beauty of us doing this podcast when we're out there. It's like this might all change when we go. We might be like,
but I hope it does change. That's the thing.
So these are just as speculations now of what we've seen, which is very limited.
Yeah.
And like the IPs and stuff.
Okay, so you might as well rip the band-aid off and tell us your number 1.
So number 1 is How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk, which is your number 2.
Yeah.
So the reason that I put it number 1 is I feel like it's the most complete out of all of them.
It looks insane.
I think the fact that there's 3 rides there, there's a show, there's meet and greets.
The show, I forgot about the show.
Yeah, there's the show, which is meant to be really good.
And there's drones, apparently.
Yeah.
Drone dragons.
So I think because of that,
I'm going to cry, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'll cry. You cried at the film, so I think he's definitely going to cry.
Yeah, like I can't watch
the third one.
Like the second one got me, the first one gets me weirdly.
Again?
It's not as bad as the third one.
We watched it the other day.
I know, and it still does get me. The thing that gets me is when Hiccup is teaching Toothless how to fly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that gets me. It's like partnership. Like I say, it reminds me of Milo. And it's like, for people who don't know, we've got like a Rottweiler at home. And like, I'm training him sport, and it's like we're doing working things out together, and it's like,
and he's an idiot.
He's a proper idiot. Like Toothless can't fly over that little thing, even though his little tails are broken. Like, come on, you got massive wings, you can fly over there, pal. But yeah, so it's kind of like it hits that heartstring of like working together with like your mate, and you're just like getting through stuff. So yeah, they've. Like we were saying, we had no interest in it at all, and then we watched the first one.
They are amazing, and we will be going to watch the live action.
Yeah, just as we get back
in June when we get back. Yeah.
So yeah, and then like you were saying, the food. I just think it's the most complete. And like when I've gone to the game plan, I feel like we'll probably spend the most time in Isle of Berk.
I think that partly because it is. I think it's your sister's most anticipated.
Yeah.
I think Craig will love it because it's Vikings.
Yep. Maybe we get them to rank their rides as well, and we'll get a list and we'll go through them. Yeah. So we're going with 4 other people. So it'd be good to see their list of when they when we're out there and what they thought were the best and what were like 5th.
Yeah.
So go on then, baby. Your number.
My number 1 is Dark Universe. Everything horror, spooky, creepy vibes. I am a Halloween girly.
You were. You were going to say girly pop on.
I was going to say girly pop, and I held it back. It really annoys him. Yeah, I love I studied film at uni, so like the classic monsters are like they hold a special place in my heart. Everything Halloween, like I would happily swap Christmas for Halloween.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah. I start decorating our house internally from the end of August, start September.
Yeah.
We have a Halloween party every year. I just love it so much. All I read is horror and thriller books. Some are behind me somewhere here. Yeah, I just love it. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. Yeah, love watching horror films. Him, not so much.
No, I'm a scaredy cat.
Yeah. I will be watching all of the Conjurings on the run up to the new one coming out in September. So excited for that. But yeah, that to me, like, I'm just gonna walk in there and be like, my mouth is gonna be open the whole time.
I think it'd be weird in the day.
No, because there's still light in horror films.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, very true.
No, I just think it's going to be, if you're not a fan of horror and the classic monsters, then I totally get it. But that ride, the Monsters Unchained Frankenstein experiment, I've heard rumours. It is incredible. I am so excited for it. The Burning Blade Tavern, which is one of the restaurants there, the blades on the I was going to say wind turbine.
Imagine.
On the windmill.
Yeah.
They explode in fire every like 15 minutes. The street actors with the streetmosphere. And yeah, I'm just... Halloween. My heart is black. I love Halloween.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that ride, that land as well.
Yeah. Not so... Oh, I won't jump onto the rides. But yeah, that Dark Universe, number one for me. It will be incredible if I get to see it at night. But obviously, I'm not the only person on this holiday. We need to accommodate everyone. So we will see. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the park will want to see that at night.
Yeah, they will, yeah. But then I guess all the lands, and maybe not in Super
opening
Nintendo.
hours, I think, is maybe like 9 or 10. It won't be pitch black then.
No, it won't be.
So, but I think the whole park is going to be stunning at night.
Yeah.
So we've got the trip in September to catch up on what we don't see.
And I think like when we went in September last time, and sorry, just touched my mic. Sorry about that. When we went back in September, we. Like, the park's closed quite early, so I wonder if they're going to keep this park open for longer.
Yeah, Universal tend to shut a bit earlier than Disney, so Disney keep their parks open quite late.
Yeah, like all the parks are open late, aren't they? Which is my only real downside about Universal.
We'll see, things might change. So, rides.
Rides.
Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah.
So there are 11 rides at Epic Universe. I will read them out in... alphabetical order, and then me and Jake are going to put them in our order of which, if we can get through all 11, fantastic, but I think that is 40% chance that is going to happen. So we have Constellation Carousel, Curse of the Werewolf, Dragon Racers Rally, Fire Drill, Battle of the Ministry, Hiccups Wing Gliders, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, Minecraft. Minecart. It's because my autocorrect changed it to Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecart Madness, Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment, Stardust Racers, and Yoshi's Adventure.
Because we're like, obviously we've not seen spoilers, so we're not 100% clued up over what each ride is.
I know what each ride is.
Yeah. So shall we break down what each ride is?
That's going to be a long podcast.
Yeah. We can briefly do it.
Okay, so Constellation Carousel is a carousel. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it is massive as well. It's huge.
Curse of the Werewolf is a spinning roller coaster. Dragon Racers Rally is a traumatizing contraption. It's basically one of those... You each sit in a little dragon on a big arm and you can control your own spins. And it just spins the big arm round as well. That's a really shit explanation. Fire Drill is you go in a Viking boat and you are like... you've got water cannons and you're kind of shooting stuff as you go around. Battle of the Ministry, that is the one that I don't know because we've tried not to watch anything.
Yeah.
It's an indoor ride. That's all I know. And you go through the Flu network to initiate said ride. Hiccups Wing Gliders is, I'm anticipating that as a cross between like Flight of the Hippogriff and Hagrid's.
I'm hoping it's not a Flight of the Hippogriff.
That's way too short, that ride. But yeah, that's an outdoor roller coaster, a family-friendly one, I think. Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge is Mario Kart with a VR headset.
Yeah, that's another one that I've not seen anything of.
Minecart Madness is
Another one not seen any. Sorry.
Yeah, the roller coaster in the Donkey Kong section of the park. Did I say Minecart or Minecraft?
You said Minecart that
Okay,
time.
well done me. Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment is the dark ride in the manor in Darkmoor.
Yep.
I have not watched any spoilers on that because that is the one I don't want to know anything. I want to go in blind. Stardust Racers is the massive yellow dueling racing roller coaster in Celestial Park, and Yoshi's Adventure.
It's a bit like High in the Sky Sutra.
Yeah.
Which is like a little monorail kind of.
Yeah, and there's coloured Yoshi eggs around, and you've got buttons to hit when you see those eggs on the way around. I've seen a bit of that one. Okay.
Cool. So let's rank. Do again from
You
11.
go 1, I go 1, you go 2, I go 2. Okay, go.
I'm saying
bottom, top.
Bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 11 is Constellation Carousel.
Okay, why?
Because I'm not really that bothered about a carousel, like say I've
we'll make these
been on
snappy.
plenty of
No
them.
ramblers.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be so long.
Yeah. So it's not like it's just another carousel for me.
Okay, number 11, I have Yoshi's Adventure.
Yep.
I think there'll be nice views of Super Nini World, but
Super Nini World.
Yeah, I'm not bothered for it.
Yeah.
10.
Number 10 is Dragon Racers Rally.
Snap.
Yeah. Well, got one right.
That looks like a traumatizing contraption.
Yeah, I think I'll still go on it.
Really? I'll hold the bags. That is another Rip Ride Rocket.
I think I want to go on everything. And they remind me of them fucking swings.
Yes.
In the fairground.
Oh, the fairgrounds. Yeah, that's why I can't go on it.
Yeah, but I think it'll be a different experience. And to be fair, I saw a little clip of one of the dragons, and it like turned. It looked cool. So I'm on going for it. I'm on just like getting over my fears, I think, on this one.
Oh.
But I think if they did have a swing ride in Universal,
like they do at Icon Park,
yeah, definitely not.
Absolutely
I would not be doing it.
No.
But this one, yeah, I'm not good.
Okay, number 9.
I got Fire Drill.
Constellation Carousel.
Oh well, so I got Fire Drill because apparently you do get quite wet.
All right.
And I'm not that bothered for getting
wet.
What
do? Turn the cannons on each other, or does it fire at you?
And are you just putting?
You're hitting targets.
They're not Spitfire.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, yeah, we don't know.
We haven't watched
I've
the
heard
spoilers.
that you get wet, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Florida. Do you not want to cool down?
Well, I do. So it's like that's kind of where it is. Like if it's one of them that's like I will happily get wet. I do like getting wet. Yeah. But it's like
yeah. Constellation Carousel. It looks absolutely stunning. That's why it's not completely at the bottom. Like I do want to go and see it. But it's just a carousel. You go round and round.
We're on number 8 now. Number 8 for me is Yoshi. Like you said, the views are going to be insane. And I think we'll get to his game plan, but I think like early morning, and it'd be really nice to see it all. And especially with the weather that we're hopefully going to get, like it'll be clear sky, and it'll like I just think, yeah,
it's crossed.
And Yoshi's cool.
I have Fire Drill as my number 8. I just think it'll be a cute water ride. But if we have to sacrifice something, so be it.
Yep. This one might rustle.
7.
Number 7, yeah. With it being so low, I've put Battle of the Ministry.
Okay.
1, mainly because we might not get on it.
Yeah.
I was going to put it higher. Like originally I was going to put it quite high. But then I was like, are we even going to be able to ride it?
Yeah.
Which it's kind of priority. Like it's weird because I've put it so low down, and it is kind of a priority because I do want to ride it.
Yeah.
Like I want to ride everything, and that's kind of my game plan. But I think that will be the one that I kind of might not be able to get to do, and I think that if it's pretty screen, like we don't know what's going to happen. Like I've anticipated it to be kind of screen
it's
heavy.
Universal, there'll be screens involved.
Yeah, so I just don't want it to be in like another Forbidden Journey kind of experience.
Okay. I have Mario Kart as my number 7. I've heard from my friends that have been to the other parks that it's just not worth the wait. It's VR.
Yeah.
So, but I like Mario Kart. I like playing Mario Kart. So, I do want to see it. Number 6
is Mario Kart.
All right. Okay.
So similar. Like, I think it might be a bit inducing in terms of. I feel it like a bit like Simpsons almost. I don't do well on VR headsets anyway. I don't really get travel sick that much. I've been getting a bit more sicky recently, but like
because you're getting old, my friend.
probably. Like I got sick on Forbidden Journey when I didn't as a kid. I managed to ride Simpsons as a kid, but I wouldn't dare do it now really because I know how bad that is. It's like 95% of people feel sick on that aspect.
If you're somebody who's never doesn't feel sick on Simpsons, please let us know because I've never met anyone that says otherwise.
Yeah. Apparently you can take the VR headset off.
Yeah, but I've seen roughly a bit of it. Yeah, and it's just a very slow track with.
Oh, without the headset on.
Okay. So I saw a TikTok and it was like, this is somebody's idea of overstimulated hell.
That's my brain.
So I get overstimulated very, very easily. So we'll see. Number 6, I have Curse of the Werewolf, which you might be shocked because Dark Universe is my number 1, and that is in Dark Universe, but it is a roller coaster where your seat spins as you go, and that's fine. But I saw a TikTok. The spinning looks mad.
Does it?
Yeah.
My number 5 is Curse at Werewolf.
Yeah.
And my reasoning was because we've kind of got a spinning coaster with Guardians, and it wouldn't ever top Guardians. So I've kind of like done it almost.
But this is more spins.
Is it? Is it as spinny as Crush's coaster in Disneyland Paris? More spins.
It looks like it. But I think it just depends on your weight distribution in the ride. True. Wind. I don't know. I'm excited to see apparently there's some. No, I'm not going to spoil it for some people.
Yeah.
Some rides we have seen spoilers, but they're not the ones that we truly care about. Yeah. So your number 5 was what? Sorry.
Curse of the Werewolf.
Yeah. So my number 5 is Hiccup's Wing Gliders. Something had to come in 5th place.
Yeah.
Purely because I like the frills and I think this is a family coaster. I'm really, really still looking forward to it. But yeah, something had to come 5th.
My number 5. I've done 5. My number 4 is Monsters Unchained. And similar to...
I'm so sad.
Similar to what you were saying, babe, with it being like something's obviously got to come at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, number 4. The other 3, I just feel like I'm more excited for. The ride does. I've heard, like I say, people have been kind of not dropping spoilers, but they'll be saying like, "This ride is so good," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Make sure you do it. So that we've like kind of been paying attention with people who say that because we don't really spoil the ride. So that one, looking forward to.
Yep.
Yeah, number 4.
My number 4 is Minecart Madness. I think it'll be an amazing roller coaster. But again, I've never really played any of the Donkey Kong games. I just think it's a cool concept. Like there's parts of it where you glide over the water, inverted commas. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess we've not really seen anything else that's like, what else is the ride?
Yeah, other than that. And I'm pretty sure the majority of people, it's on the outside of the ride, so you can see it.
And people have I think Universal's said that and stuff. It's always been in the the leaks and stuff. It's always had that. What were we on, number 3?
Yep.
My number 3 is Hiccup's Wing Gliders. And I do think this might be the one that I'm most let down by.
Oh.
Like, I'm hoping that it's not, like you were saying, I don't think it's going to be like Rise of the Hippogriff.
Rise of the Resistance Hippogriff.
Yeah, what is it? Flight of the Hippogriff. Yeah, Flight of the Hippogriff.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be like that. But then I think if it is closer to that than Hagrid's,
I don't think it's as short as Flight of the Hippogriff, purely because looking at the map from Epic, it does look like it covers considerable amount of ground. My number 3 is Battle of the Ministry. I don't think we're going to get on it like I've previously said, but I think just walking into that British Ministry of Magic and seeing it on full scale
Yeah.
is going to be wild.
And I guess I've seen so in England we've got the Warner Brothers Studios. It's called the Harry Potter Studio, I think.
And I've not
they've
seen
got
that.
they've got the full scale there. So I guess I've not been there in years. Probably maybe 9 years or so. I've not been there. And they just put it in then. So like I can't even really remember it. And then I guess the thing is what I'm kind of remembering it as is, remember the Harry Potter shop in New York?
Yeah, with the
With all the green tile?
Yeah.
It kind of crosses in my brain being like, is that the same
Oh my
place?
god, it's that tenfold.
Yeah. But then I can't really remember what it's like at the studio. So yeah, it's I mean, I'm like I say, still interested to see it.
Okay. My number 2. Oh no, your number 2?
My number 2 is Starfall Racers.
Snap.
Is it? Well,
yeah.
I've
got Stardust written down.
I'm pretty sure it's Starfall.
No, I think Starfall was the OG name. I'm going to find this out.
Go on and have a look at the wait time.
Explain your
what we're on Starfall Racers. Just because people are comparing it to Velocicoaster, I think it's the most thrilling ride that will be there. And yeah, I just think it'll be, like I said, mainly just like the most thrilling. Like when we go to other parks, the most thrilling ride kind of takes like the top spot. Like for example,
it's Stardust.
Stardust, is it?
Stardust Racers.
Is that on there?
And it is currently a 25-minute wait.
No way. What's Ministry?
If no one believes me.
For you audio listeners, she's sharing it to the phone.
How do
really badly.
Do this? Okay, anywho. 25 minutes. I'll screenshot
Big up Sony's
that.
autofocus.
Screenshot that. Continue.
What's Battle Ministry? Just
continue.
What we're on Starfall Racers.
Yeah.
Dueling coaster. That's element's pretty cool. And like I said, most of the time, the most thrilling ride is the fastest air quotes, or like I say, the most thrilling.
Yeah.
And I think like Tron is like it's a short ride. It gets a lot of stick in Magic Kingdom, but it's a good ride for Magic Kingdom because it's like people who go to Magic Kingdom who are thrill seekers, that's the only thrill that you're kind of going to get.
For 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's why.
Ministry is currently 100-minute wait, and it is about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Florida time right now.
So that might be part of the game plan, wait until 2, which I heard on another podcast that they were saying that you do normally get a lull about 2 o'clock.
Because it's peak heat. Yeah, mine is also Stardust Racers, purely because I have something that I'm just a little bit more excited for. But yeah, I'm so excited to see if it's on par with Velocicoaster, if it trumps Velocicoaster. Who knows? We will let you know in the episode where we are looking very tired in our hotel room.
Yeah. Do you do your number 1 then?
My number 1, you've probably guessed it by now, Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment. Those animatronics have rumoured to be the greatest animatronics created.
See, I didn't know there was one animatronic.
I have tried to shelter myself from any spoilers on this one. I know we are following what's the lady's name? The story behind it. Anyway, I don't know the ride vehicle. I don't know anything. I know it's a dark ride, and I am ecstatic to get the pants scared off me.
Do you think it's going to be scary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not scary to the point where children can't go on it, but I think there'll be some hidden things that do make you poopy yourself.
Poopy.
But yeah, Monsters Unchained is my current number 1.
Yeah. My number 1 is Minecart Madness. Just because I love Donkey Kong, love Nintendo, which is a bit different between what I said earlier. But then I think, like I say, if Hiccups Wing Gliders was like a more thrilling ride, I think you probably would have got it. But like, so annoyed that I didn't get them shoes as well.
All right, let it go.
Yeah. But yeah, Minecart Madness is the one for me.
So what our intention is with that is we're going to re-rank the rides that we do actually ride and let you know in the next episode our post-Epic Universe debrief, whether those we got them in the correct order or not. The order might be shorter because I guarantee we will not ride all 11 rides. We do have express passes for opening day.
Yeah, we do.
But things go down, things change.
Yeah. I think I think we'll do 10 out of the
I'm
11.
predicting 8.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna go on to his game plan. So as Becky said, we do have express passes, which I'm hoping allows us to get on everything other than I don't think is Battle for Ministry on express pass. We have no idea.
We'll find out.
Yeah. So we kind of needed to rant about the ticket system that Universal's kind of done because it's a bit strange, especially for people like us from the UK. So, I mean, it's strange across the board, but for us especially because we're not as close, so it's a big thing for us if we missed out. So, the way that they kind of did the tickets was that you had to buy a multi-pass. So one for the other parks and then one day at Epic. So they did these as 3s or then they did them as 7s. And the tickets that we've got, and I think they did a 14 as well. So the tickets that we've bought them from Attraction Tickets. So shout out you guys because you've been super helpful in this whole process because we've had to like get information from other people to kind of figure out what's been going on. But then these tickets, they're never dated in terms of you can go to Epic on this day. So we've bought a ticket that starts on the 22nd. Well, we're fine because me and Becky are annual pass holders. We've managed to buy a single day for opening day. But then the other members in his party, they have had to buy this multi-pass basically. So, like I say, it's not dated. So it starts on the 22nd. So we're going to Epic on the 22nd. We're going with them. And like I say, with it not being dated, it's a case of like, how do you 100% know that if you go on that date, even when it starts on the 22nd, are you going to be able to go on the 22nd? So to me, I thought that was a bit silly. I feel like you should have been able to say, I want my ticket to start on a certain day and I want my Epic day to be this day. So with all that being said, we're going on which I think that was a question on Instagram as well. So
we'll get to
that kind of answers that question. So with that, we're going to go at 7. The park's due to open at 9. There's early park admission, but it starts on the 23rd, which is the day after opening day, so it doesn't start on opening day. So we're going for 7, which is 2 hours early, which we hopefully we'll be able to get us
members entrance to the park.
Yeah. Otherwise, me and Becky going in and then we're leaving then. So, but like I say, we've bought 6 express passes. So if they don't let us in, and I think with how lenient and how well
I think they'll be pretty susceptible to if they don't let us in or let our family members in, that they'll be able to refund those express passes. Because they'll have to cap entry at some point.
Yeah. And like I said, if it being 15,000 roomed capacity, I think would be fine. So yeah, going for 7, and then they're going to stand in line, and we're going to go off, and we're going to go.
Is this how detailed you're going?
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, it's minor.
Okay. Well, basically, we're going to go get coffee from.
Yeah, we're going to be the coffee people, and we're going to go get breakfast
from one of the neighbouring hotels.
Yeah, and then we're going to. See, I've put in my notes now. This is how much it's changed. So I've put in my notes that we're going to try and grab a virtual queue for Harry Potter at 11. But if we don't know if they're even going to do that now.
That's not a thing.
Yeah. So maybe they still do that, or maybe they don't. So
could all change.
But yeah, that's the plan. And then I think now maybe we have to go to Harry Potter first. If they don't do virtual queue, what do you think?
I don't know. It's difficult when he asks me these questions because it's not just me who's going.
I know, but I feel like the rest in the party they're getting dragged all around anyway. So,
but they also have investments in this park.
But I think if 9 till 9, that's 12 hours.
It's not enough.
And there's 11 rides.
It's not enough.
Yeah,
it's not enough.
So yeah, I think the order that I've kind of put it down in my head.
This is right before he rambles right on every point. this is our rough game plan. It's
Yeah.
going to change.
Oh, it will change.
So
But
I'm just saying this so you don't have to ramble this on every point.
No, I'm not going to ramble everything on the front. Thank you. So I've put like
I could just see you justifying it. Sorry for every point.
No.
It could change. This could change.
Yeah,
that could
obviously
change.
it will change.
Oh dear.
But on the date today, this is how I think it's gonna pan
Yeah.
out.
So now you don't need to be like, oh, but what if this happens? Just lay it out how we've got it.
Super Nintendo World first.
Yes.
Do the 2 rides there,
Mhm.
and then Isle of Berk. And like what I was saying earlier with Isle of Berk being like the most complete park, I feel like probably do Super Nintendo World in maybe 2 hours, if not less.
And then spend the most.
And
of
then
the time
spend
in
most
Berk.
like even 3 hours in Isle of Berk or whatever. And then
I'm happy to do that.
And then I've put Dark Universe.
No.
Which is like going back on your point of do we want to see it in the night time?
Yeah, no.
But then I guess it all depends on virtual queue,
Mhm.
like if that's still a thing.
Yeah.
So then I put Dark Universe and then Celestial Park for like late dinner-ish because I really want to go Pizza Moon.
Pizza Moon. Or have you
Yeah.
decided you want to do it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then again, it's like I want to go Pizza Moon, but I've put like some snacks I want. I want the Toad Calzone in Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
I want. I've put Coney 2012. 2012 instead of for the cone.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So the cone, the mac and cheese cone. And then the cinnamon bites in Darkmoor.
Yep, I want those.
And yeah, then Pizza Moon. So it's a case of like I probably won't even eat a pizza. I'll probably go for that brownie which I found over there. And then Harry Potter last because I thought if it's the last thing that we ride, probably go ride Battle of the Ministry last.
Okay. So that is the rough game
That is
plan.
the rough game plan. Which, like I say, we'll let you know if that ends up happening.
I feel like we may be swapping Harry Potter and Dark Universe round.
Do you?
Just my opinion.
What happens if it is just a standby line on Harry Potter?
Then we'll do it. And then
Would you put that first though?
But then we'll come back and explore the land later.
Go ride it and then go
Yeah.
Super Nintendo World. Yeah, I hear that. And I feel like I can't remember exactly how many that's on Express Pass, but I feel like all the other rides other than that one ride is
I don't
Express
think
Pass.
that one will be on it. No.
But no. But then Minecart will be and Thingy will be.
Monsters Unchained. Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, yeah. So yeah, like you say, go do that and then because it's the only one not on Express. Yeah, so that's kind of everything in the game plan. So we do have some questions.
Yes, so we put out a little question box on Instagram to see if you wanted to ask us anything in regards to our Epic Universe planning
podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think most of them, like most of the questions we've answered. So the only one that there's a couple that
we'll do 3.
Yeah.
Do 3. Because this podcast is probably an hour long already.
Yeah. I mean we've answered pretty much all of them other than 2, I think.
Okay.
So the 2 that are not answered. So if you could put one different IP into Epic, what would it be?
Ooh.
So what would you get rid of and what would you put in?
That's not the question. The question would be what would you put in?
Yeah.
Not what would I take out?
If you could put in one different IP in the I'm saying different means remove one and put one in.
No, I just think it means what other one would you add in?
Well, let's add some more to it. Go on. This is how. Well, I think it's easy. This one.
Well, then you go first.
Easy to remove. So remove Harry Potter.
Mhm.
You'd probably do the same, wouldn't you?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Talk.
Okay. So to remove Harry Potter, like I say, I feel like it's a bit squeezed in, a bit forced. What to add? That's the hard one.
Is this got to be a universal
IP? I'd probably just say let's put Lord of the Rings in there.
Of course you would.
Yeah. But then it'd be one of them that I'd probably put, because everyone thinks, let's put the Shire in, which that would be probably really immersive. That would probably fit the best. But then, yeah, I'd say that. I'd probably say put the Shire in. You could have the party tree in there.
There's a party tree.
The party tree, yeah. You need to get involved.
No, I don't.
There's the party tree. You could go to the Prancing Pony. That's not even in the Shire. You can go to, what's the pub called? can't even remember. This is really bad. But you can go have a bevy in the little hobbit holes, taverns, and then you can be like all sprawling green hills.
It would be beautiful,
Yeah.
but I think they're saving that for.
Which, like, if they did that in England, it's just gonna get muddy as fuck. And
It won't be real grass. That
You
stuff would get waterlogged.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But artificial grass,
it would.
dodge, would it?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Paddington Bear. No, I'm joking.
Are you looking at what IPs?
Yeah, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, my heart just says take out Harry Potter and extend Dark Universe and have, or potentially have what they've got in Hollywood and make HHN all year round.
That'd be a shout.
Or adding in like a DreamWorks land world.
Some more than just Shrek.
Well, yeah. Like, kind of like what they've got at the minute, but...
Yeah, but bigger.
Yeah. Not Minions.
Not Minions.
Not
Anything
Minions.
but Minions. But to be fair, with Universal, they've been like...
Animal Crossing Island.
Yeah, that'd be an expansion of
Can you
Nintendo.
imagine? You could go and sit and go to the shop.
Could get ripped off by Timmy
Yeah,
and Tommy.
get Tommy Nook taking my peas. And go and have a coffee with, what's the owl called?
Brewster.
The pigeon.
No, not Brewster.
Pigeon.
Brewster,
With the pigeon. And
Yeah,
then go take your fossils
Blathers.
to Blathers.
Yeah.
Love that.
Animal Crossing. See, I
No,
wonder...
I'm sorry, that question really stumped me.
No, but it's I guess with Lord of the Rings, it's not a Warner Brothers. It's not a Universal IP. It's like they've not bought it, but they bought the rights of it from somewhere.
Yeah.
Next question is, can something shiny and new ever compete with the nostalgia of
Oh, good question.
Islands of
Who
Adventure?
asked that?
And shout out Jay from Universally Speaking.
All right, okay. That's a good question, Jay.
Yeah. But yeah.
I
See,
don't
this kind of goes with
know.
my whole City Walk thing. Like, I feel like, but I even think City Walk isn't like amazing, but it's like
It's just a
nostalgia
vibe.
in it, and it's like it's the thing that we've always done. We've always walked to City Walk and then gone to each park. It's always been there whenever we've left the park.
But then there's a whole thing of like, now you're creating new memories that will be nostalgic.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, nothing can beat Velocicoaster in terms of how that ride makes me feel.
Yeah.
Forget all my problems.
And I think even though I like Nintendo more than I like any of the IPs in the other parks. And I like probably How You Train Your Dragon more than the others. Even though Harry Potter, they're the OG Harry Potters, and like they're probably, if they had them in Epic Universe.
I don't know. That's a really hard question.
But yeah, I think it'll be different, and I think it'll become. I don't know. I think it'll be straight. Like, we're obviously biased because we've done the other stuff so much.
Yeah, but that's what he's asking.
Yeah.
Because we've got nostalgia to those parks.
And the whole us staying on property, being able to walk to City Walk, being able to walk to the other parks, that's a whole different thing to, like, when we go.
That's part of our memories, like getting a coffee and going on the walking path to the parks.
Yeah. And then I think even with the drive to, like, when we go to Disney, like, we drive to Disney and it's like, we'd be driving to Universal.
We will. We're getting on the bus.
Or getting on the bus. But I think,
I don't
when we're
know.
in September, we'll probably drive.
I think this is. Oh, what? Read the question again. Something shiny and new, will it trump nostalgia?
Can something shiny and new ever compete with the nostalgia of
maybe
studios
after the park's been open for a while? I think there's a lot of room for error, and rightly so. It's a brand new theme park.
Yeah.
Maybe not currently for me.
Yeah. I think if once it gets added to the pass, the annual pass, and I think that's part of the beauty of us being able to go to studios and islands is the fact that we can just go whenever.
Yeah.
And I think because we can't do that with Epic, it feels a bit more like.
Yeah, but that's the whole shiny new thing.
Yeah.
I think nostalgia for me trumps.
Yeah.
But we'll see
Yeah, we'll
in the
see.
next
We'll be
episode.
like, fuck studios. Philosophers are shit. Yeah.
Oh my God, never.
Never. Yeah.
I think that is everything we were covering today.
Yep, that is indeed.
So that is our opinions and our forecast for Epic Universe. We will let you know our opinions and our thoughts based on what we experienced on opening day.
Yep.
But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in Orlando.
Bye.
See ya.